Hello, YouTube. Tonight I will be discussing both Apple and Microsoft's failures. First, we'll start out with Apple as a failure. The Lisa was too expensive. For one start, it was $1,000, and this was way back in the day when $1,000 was even more hard to get than it is now. So, in my opinion, Apple should have lowered the price to $6. So it started with the Mac right off the bat. But now Apple is thriving in its Mac platform. Alright, my next point will be about Microsoft. Microsoft had a big failure, which was operating Windows 1.0. This was mainly due to regular to stealing the look of the Apple GUI. If they had not stolen the Apple GUI, then they would have been alright. Now, let's move on to Applegate. Apple was trying to create a third-party OS, and it was taking forever, so they were looking into a third-party developer to help them. But when they bought Next with Steve Jobs as founded, Apple wanted developers to write all new applications for it. But no one wanted to do this. But then Apple got to their senses and just had to do a little bit of adjusting to their previous app, and they included macOS 9A as a classic environment, they called it, to run over. macOS 10 for those who have not made the adjustments. Perhaps one of the biggest failures for Microsoft was Windows 2000. And they had this on my school computer, and it did not work well at all. So, then they released XP a year later. Now, here's the worst case for Microsoft. Windows Vista. Windows Vista was wholeheartedly forced out the door. And this meant that a lot of the software did not work with Vista that worked in XP. They took forever to get released, and they didn't give developers a fair chance. Neither did, and developers were so tired of waiting that they messed around when Microsoft finally got their act together. Now, they have redeemed themselves by letting manufacturers put Windows XP on all their machines, and by releasing Windows 7, which is a more baked operating system. They have shot themselves in the face because there are people up there, including myself, that just don't want to upgrade to Vista because it's a piece of junk. And finally, the iPhone 4. A YouTuber named DWK said it the best. Steve Jobs sent out an email to someone saying, "Oh, just don't hold it that way." Excuse me? Hey, you don't tell people how to hold a phone when they're having reception problems. And B, you don't try to compare. You don't have people make idiot response. Sorry about my language, but you don't have people make stupid responses. But Apple has redeemed themselves, but this still could be damaging for them. They now have to give free bumper cases to people or pay people return people $30 or refund their whole phone. Now, if they had given the bumper case originally, and if Microsoft or if Apple had not made that stupid, or if Steve Jobs hadn't made that dumb response of just don't hold it that way, you wouldn't have this problem. Well, that's my opinion of where Apple and Microsoft have both failed themselves. I hope you enjoyed this, and see you soon.